Hey, it's Birdman for Birdman on the Mountain. Time for the community shout. Hey, this is the first one here in 2019. Going to be a little different because I had to dig myself out of snow to get into the birdcage this morning, so not sure who's going to make it. And that's been the issue here for the last few days. So, well, welcome to the new year. Going to talk over some of the events that are coming up. 2019 is already shaping up to be a killer event year. So we're going to have a lot to talk about in the show. We have people coming in. But I'm going to start off this morning. I got her to show up. Allison Hephner with the Navajo County Public Health District. How are you?
I have a truck, so I was able to get here.
You had
Very
a truck,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little snowing out there. People need to be safe when they're traveling on the road. But
Good. So you have some events.
yes, but I just want to put in people's minds. So one of them actually is the Children with Special Healthcare Needs Coalition is partnering with First Things First, who is also partnering with PBS Channel 8 to do a 2019 First Things First Early Childhood Conference in Snowflake. And this conference is going to bring a lot of different people together in wellness, natural learning environment, and trauma-informed care. We're looking at getting the classes there. It will be for early childhood development, so preschool, kindergarten, first grade, second grade teachers, caregivers, you name it, even parents. The stuff is very valuable for parents. So right now, what we're doing is we're asking for workshop proposals.
Oh, cool.
So if you're an agency, organization, or business out there that works with children that are the age of 0 to 5 or even into 8, if you have an agency that services family with children and you want to come as a vendor, or if you want to come and present something to the group, please get a hold of me at allison.hephner@navajocountyaz.gov, and I'm sure we'll put that down there.
Yes.
And then I will send you the proposal form, and I'll also send you a vendor form depending on what you'd like to do.
Very cool. Yes.
And then there's more.
Okay, more. Good. Awesome.
So in May 25th, 2019, we are going to have a garden expo at the White Mountain Community Garden.
Very cool.
Yes, this is pretty big deal. We have a keynote speaker that's going to come in. We have a couple different trainings. In fact, we have booths. One vendor booth is the soil doctor. Mm-hmm. So you can get a bag of your soil and bring it in, and we'll be able to test it and tell you how to amend your soil and what to put in it, which I'm super excited about. So that's the 25th at Sholo White Mountain Community Garden. So right now, we're accepting vendors for that who either want to do a demonstration or would like to provide, maybe they have starts that they sell, or maybe they have some kind of soil they sell, or whatever they do. This would be a great opportunity for them to be a part of this garden expo. And again, contact me and I will send them a vendor form. And then in Winslow Community Garden on June 1st, we're also going to do a garden expo out there. So if you're in North County, out in that area, and you have a business organization that is a garden or has anything to do with, being outside and planting, please get a hold of me and I'll send you a vendor form for that as well. So
very cool.
There's definitely more going on in 2019, but I think I want to keep it small to those 3 to start.
Okay. Now, you also happen to sit, and I'm going to put you on a spot here, hopefully not too bad, but you also sit on the foundation board for the Summit Hospital, or
yes.
Summit Healthcare.
Yes.
Can you talk about the events and what's going on there? Because there's a little bit of a change going on there too, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of change. So one of the things is we have the Gala this year, mm-hmm. That we're very excited for, and I don't know the date off the top of my head. I'd have to look at. It's in
and we can add that down below.
July.
That's kind of easy. In July. Okay.
Yes, and I think it is.
I don't want to say the 19th, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't have it scheduled on my phone.
Okay, so it's in July. We'll put the dates down.
You'll know more. She definitely put me on the spot. I wasn't prepared for this. Thanks a lot. So then the other thing is they've moved the golf tournament, because before
the golf tournament was on the same day. So you had like Ladies' Day, then you had the golf tournament.
On that Friday. And then on Saturday, we would do the Gala.
Right.
So this time, the golf tournament is being moved to October 4th. And I know that date because it's our daughter's birthday.
Okay.
And that is still at Torion, and more information.
And and Ladies' Day, I'm assuming, is going to be almost, well, maybe it'll move. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, Ladies' Day is going to be a lot different this time. I think that they're going to focus on the Women's Wellness Conference more.
Okay, good.
That Summit does for that, just because it's very successful, and they kind of almost doing the two
Right,
events.
right,
You know,
right,
they're
right.
kind of the same thing.
Very
They
good.
can really play off of each other. So that's going on. And then I know, and I always forget the date, but I think it's the last weekend of September. Horrible on dates, is the Crawfish Fest.
Well, we'll talk about that. We've got to figure out when the date's going to be. But yeah, we're more details on that. But I'll talk about the event. We're with Show Low Chamber, and we're working on a combo event with Summit Healthcare, the chamber. And it's the idea is it's a crawfish fest and Oktoberfest kind of thing together.
Yeah.
So more details about that are going to be coming soon. We'll get the date nailed down, but we'll be putting that out as an announcement pretty soon, I would think.
Yes, and it's going to be delicious. The crawfish boil is going to be amazing, and they're going to have beer there for the different, I think, types of beers to try, because it's like Oktoberfest, like you had said.
Right.
The other thing with Summit Healthcare, if you're interested in being a part of their Plangiving, that's where you can donate money to the foundation board. And what we do with the foundation board is we're actually able to help offset some of the costs for things that hospitals don't normally pay for when it comes to helping the community. One good example of that is we partnered with the Family Advocacy Center, and we provide nurses there to assess the children who have been sexually abused. And so one of the things that we were able to approve was a camera that's actually able to take pictures clear enough to really get a case against those people.
What they call a forensic camera. So it's an actual system that's set up, and it's very programmatic. In fact, they weren't even allowed to open the camera until the training team came out. Mm-hmm. They broke the seals. They take them through the step-by-step processes of how the photos are taken and everything, and that way they can be submitted as evidence. Because those evidentiary rules and those chain of custody command things, those are all very important when it comes to that, and that's all handled within this system. So, and that obviously adds cost to a system. It's not just buy a camera and do this. It's the camera and the process are all one and the same and part of the same. So, very good system to buy and have, and now that really protects children and protects the evidentiary chain.
And as you can see, what the foundation board has done before, it did a lot with the cancer center. Thank you. And we plan on doing more this year. So if you do want to give back to an organization that actually helps the community, the Summit Foundation organization is a very good place to start.
Very good. Well, I want to thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate it, because everybody else is stuck or stuck because it's funny. I got all these businesses that are like, well, I could come, but I don't have anybody here because they weren't able to come. And that's the kind of thing that happens. But, we really love the snow. It's an awesome thing to have.
And it's accumulating, and it's going to be a great year.
Very good. Well, thank you once again, Allison Hephner with the Navajo County Public Health Services District. Appreciate your time.
For having me.
Okay, it's looking like this is going to be the full-on Snowmagedon edition of Birdman on the Mountain. That's right. It's still coming down. I'm doing this on Wednesday, even though the show comes out on Thursday. Typically, it's Tuesday, but of course, that was New Year's Day. And we had a lot of snow then, too. But looks like the clearing's going well up in Pinetop Lakeside. Obviously, Sunrise is getting a ton of snow. I was hoping that they were going to be able to stop down. They're not here. I invited the Pinetop Lakeside Chamber by, and unfortunately, I think she's by herself today, so not able to get them here. And also Evan Lahr with the Lodge coming by. So I'm going to sort of run you through some of the things that are going on. First of all, let's start with some of the things that are going on in Show Low Chamber of Commerce. This year, and we've announced this already last year, the Show Low Days is actually going to be at Frontier Field. So it's going to move, and it's actually not going to be the same weekend as the car show. So the car show is going to have its own weekend, and then Show Low Days is going to have its own weekend. We'll check dates for this as they come about. I could tell them to you now, but you'd forget it anyways, so it's not a big deal. So that happens, obviously, in June. That's when things sort of kick off. We've got a lot of things that happen before then. The Daddy-Daughter Dance, of course, in Show Low is coming up here in February. Make sure as soon as you can to go get your tickets if you want to take your daughter to that, because they always sell out. So make sure you got that going on. Hey, the Art Walk and Marketplace is going to be happening. That's by Show Low Main Street. That'll be going on again this summer. That'll kick off and be happening. And I got to remember, so we're talking about Evan Lahr. Coming up here real soon here in winter. Let's back up a little bit timeline-wise. Back, we talked about June. Here this winter, so in January, February, we've got going on at the Lodge the Winter Concert Series, and get some real cool announcements coming up there. First one, I think, is going to be an AC/DC tribute band with full theatrics. They've got a big bell. They've got all kinds of cool stuff. So watch for the announcement on the concert date on that and the details. That's going to be at the lodge, indoors. So when it's snowing like this, and by the way, I was just there for New Year's, and the power went off twice, but it was killer because it went off, and then it came back on, and everybody had fun, and they did the cash drop. $1,000 had gone down to everybody. And then right after all that, the lights went out. Of course, I was leaving, so awesome that we've got all this snow. Once again, Sunrise is kicking it up there, so it's good to see. We've got that going on, Winter Concert Series with them, and then there are going to be more things going on as well. They've got a comedy thing that's going to be going on at the lodge, and then, of course, we move into the Summer Concert Series at the Lion's Den. Going to be doing that again, and we'll have some announcements early on from that, probably looking spring for announcements as who the bands are going to be, when the concert's going to be, and some other cool things that will be going on with that as well. Like I said, the chamber invited them down from Pinetop Lakeside. They're doing something called a wind down, and I think it's on Wednesdays. I don't have all the details, but I think it's Wednesday nights or evenings, early evening. They've got a wind down, so it's wine and that at a restaurant, hangout, some networking, real cool things. They've got some new events that will be coming up, and they've got a new director. Her name is Michelle. We're going to have her in here as soon as she can get out of the office and isn't stuck there by herself. That's going on. They've got an event we talked about a little bit earlier with Allison about with the Summit Chamber, with the Summit Board, the Foundation Board, and the Sholo Chamber of Commerce, which is an event that's going to be Croctoberfest, and we'll be announcing when that's going to be and where that's going to be here really, really, really soon. Hoping I have the details now, but we just don't have them all nailed down. That's coming up, and you look for that kind of thing. The Balloon Fest is going to be going on in June. They're moving it out of that October frame back to the June time frame, and they've already lined up I got to tell you, it's going to be managed by a different group, so it's going to be handled a little bit differently, and hopefully we don't have the fire season issues that we had this last year, people having concerns about it, that balloons are probably safer than anything that's done out in the forest when it comes to fire. So don't worry about that. It's propane driven, and when they turn off, they're off. So they can have balloons, and they fill them up with hot air. They sit there. They just sort of maintain them, and then it's not a big deal. They're not going to be flying around and crashing into the forest and burning us to the ground. But got a lot of snow, so hopefully we get a lot of this snow all season through the winter season, and fire season isn't as big of a concern. It's always a concern, but it'd be nice to have more moisture, wouldn't it? Hey, so I can't think of anything else, and if I get somebody else in here, I'm going to bring them in and we'll talk to them, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to go ahead and set this up, and I'll see you soon. Hey, that's going to be it for this edition of the Community Shout here on Birdman on the Mountain. I'm Birdman for Birdman Media. Thanks to all the viewers on WMI TV and also the viewers on Sholo TV as well. Remind everyone out there, want to remind you, please be safe out and drive slowly. Take it easy. Put that phone in the back or go hide it. Don't be texting. Don't use phone calls. If you can do hands-free things, fine. But really, honestly, use all your attention to make sure that you're not running into somebody else. You're giving extra distance between you and other vehicles. And just be courteous out there as much as you can. And don't get upset if somebody didn't see you, because there's a lot of things going on when you add snow to the mix. Be careful. I'm Birdman. Let's have an awesome 2019. And like I always say, if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web.